right. Looks like I got out of my cable short a little early today. Um, yeah, about, I don't know, 50 pips too early. I was short the uh, cable at 134.50. I got out at like 19 or 21. I'm not short anymore. We've seen a really pretty big move down in the cable as we continue to be range bound. I mean, it's just, the um, 135 to 133 range. The euro's coming down towards support. Think we're going to see 120.50 before we get a bounce here. So for those of you that are looking for some sort of bounce in the euro, I think that's probably where we're going to get it. We're seeing a really big move up in the dollar Mexican peso. We're closing in on ascending wedge or descending wedge resistance, so keep that in mind. The Aussie dollar, this really stinks because it actually stopped me out, and I went long right. I was short, and it stopped me out above the highs. I'm playing it on the long side because I own it right around 50 for my average, but I don't know if I'm gonna stick around. I might end up being a false breakout. Overall, I think the Aussie is bullish, but it's coming off pretty good, and I think a lot of that has to do with like the risk off that we're seeing in equities. We're seeing not only risk off in equities, but we're seeing a move down in like the U.S. dollar CNH, and this is a chart that I tweeted a little earlier. We have a double bottom or a double top, excuse me. We hit the lows and then we reversed. This could really suggest that that we're going to be, seeing a reversal here. So, and we're starting to see like a move in not only the U.S. dollar CNH or some of these commodity currencies. I mean, the Kiwis come off pretty aggressively, right? I actually took that one off because I was like, okay, well, with the Aussie breaking out, trying to break out, the Kiwi wasn't gonna, was gonna hold up. But man, we've come off pretty aggressively here. So, the question is, how do you trade it? And I mean, I think stocks will hold up here, I think. But the dollar has actually made some pretty good gains, and I mean the dollar Canadian's come off that low. But if things are going to turn, they're going to turn around here. So we're going to start to see some buyers step into the euro. Remember, the ECB meeting is tomorrow. That's something that we have to pay attention to, right? With the ECB meeting tomorrow, you're probably going to have some buyers that'll step in, or anybody who's short might, because you're already seeing some of that profit taking come in the euro. So that we may see some buying step in ahead of the ECB around these support levels. Remember, we're above 120, and while above 120, there are going to be buyers around. So we need to think about that. Trading around these levels here. Hold on one second. Excuse me 1 second here. Yeah, but the weakness of like the Aussie coming off pretty good. The dollar Canadian, spiking higher. The dollar Mexican peso right up into resistance. This is pretty good. I mean, this is if the dollar Mexican peso doesn't hold here, and Martin in the chat room just said this, and I agree with him. This is a game changer. We break above here, and it's a game changer. We start breaking above 20, because then that changes the dynamic of the U.S. dollar Mexican peso. It becomes a bullish reversal, but we are right up against resistance. Mark in the chat room just sold his, which is awesome, Mark, because this is a point where you go, okay, well, I made some money counter trend. I get long here, or I risk it coming back down here before making a reversal, which that can happen as well. So well done. If you guys think that that a Brexit deal is going to get done, and we're going to see a Brexit deal, here, in the coming week, this is probably the place where you want to get long. I'm just, you know, I'm just saying, just because I think that, you know, you're risking below these lows for a move that could, you know, potentially be up to 140. So that's just some food for thought. And you know, also one of the other things I guess here is, see that low. Let's imagine this trend line holds. That comes in around 50. You know, you guys might look to play it on the long side if you guys think that you know, a deal is going to get done. That's just, you know, some thoughts. I'm still long the Euro New Zealand, and it has had a hell of a bounce. Okay, which this is a, you know, I was looking for a head and shoulder pattern in the in the Aussie New Zealand, but you know, this is actually what this is setting up as. Remember, we do have the ECB tomorrow too. So, you know, that's potential right there. Just think about that. Oops, I didn't mean to click that. What else? Gold, we're back below 1850. Doesn't instill a lot of confidence in the precious metals markets right now, with gold back below 1850. Right, this is kind of like the Aussie breakout, failed breakout, maybe. Let's take a look at the S&Ps. So here's the S&Ps coming off the highs, but remember, support is down here, not too far away, probably like 10 or 15 S&P points away. So before you get all, you know, aggressively bearish the equity markets, remember, we are still in breakout territory, you know, working off probably some overbought, you know, overbought intraday readings from today. You know, we'll probably end up finding some support down here. So just be a little careful if you're short equities here, just because we could start to see some buyers come in. All right. Other than that, let me see here. I have questions. Irna says, but Blake, are you still bullish on the euro dollar? I am, as long as we're above 20. I actually bought some. I bought some at 120.80, and as I told the folks in the chat room, I'm buying more down here. I want to buy right at this trend line support or just below the 50% retracement. So that's where I'm really looking to be on the long side. Jason said, Blake, the Aussie dollar pattern in play is closed. Site shows one thing, but email something different. Now, what happened is, let me show you what happened. For some reason, I put in a pattern in play for the Aussie on the long side, and it came out as bearish. So I had to close it out at the opening price and re-put it back in, and then it came in as bullish. So I'm not sure what happened there. And that's why I had to close it out at a break even, because it came in as bearish. And yeah, I'm not sure why the system registered that. So no, I'm long some Aussie. I'm like a little irritated. I might pull it soon if, you know, it doesn't start to bounce, because it's like, man, the Aussies kind of got my number, it seems, today. Other than that, so yeah, the cable's back to break even on the day. The euro's, you know, down, but remember that we have the ECB tomorrow, and we're seeing the dollar really recover. And I think a lot of this is led by the US dollar CNH, to be quite honest. So just be careful if you got some dollar longs right here. Just be cautious with them. All right, guys and gals, I hope you guys have a great trading session. It is definitely choppy out there. So I'll see you on the Face webinar or in the chat rooms. Thanks.